Let's skip the small talk. Time is ticking, and so are your neurons. Number 8. The Jet-Powered Brainwash. You probably assume that when you pass out, your brain just goes into sleep mode like some dusty laptop. Cute, but dead wrong. The second you lose consciousness, your skull transforms into a high-stakes industrial cleaning site. It's called the glymphatic system. Here's the deal. Your brain cells literally shrivel up, shrinking by about 60%. They wither on purpose just to clear a path for a massive flood of cerebral spinal fluid. Picture a high-pressure power washer blasting through your gray matter. This clear, salty goo surges through your brain tissue, flushing out toxic waste proteins called beta amyloids that you've been hoarding all day. Think of it as taking out the trash, except the garbage is inside your head, and the garbage truck is a tidal wave of spinal fluid. If you don't sleep, this biological sewage just sits there, clogging up your neurons. So when you wake up feeling like a total zombie, it's basically because your brain skipped the rinse cycle. You're walking around with a head full of dirty bio-sludge, which explains why you can't find your damn keys. Gross, right? Go to bed or keep being a walking landfill. Number 7. The Chemical Straightjacket. It's called REM atonia, and it's the only reason you haven't accidentally yeeted yourself out of a window while dreaming you were a bird. The moment you hit deep sleep, your brainstem sends a kill switch signal to your spinal cord, effectively severing the connection to your voluntary muscles. You are paralyzed, dead weight. Why? Because if you weren't, you'd physically act out every bizarre scenario your subconscious cooks up. If you dream you're a ninja, you'd be karate chopping your nightstand into splinters. But here's the fun part. Sometimes the system glitches. The off switch gets stuck. You wake up mentally, but your body is still drugged up on paralyzing chemicals. This is sleep paralysis. Your eyes are open, you're fully conscious, but you can't move a single muscle. Your panicked brain, trying to make sense of why you're frozen, often hallucinates a shadow demon sitting on your chest. So, thanks evolution, either stay paralyzed and safe, or wake up into your own personal horror flick. Sweet dreams. Number 6. The Reptilian Skin-Shed. While your conscious mind is often fairyland, your epidermis enters a hyperactive regeneration phase to fix the day's damage. Cell mitosis peaks around midnight, which is just a polite way of saying your body is frantically kicking out old dead cells to make room for the new ones. You're shedding about 40,000 skin cells every single minute. Do the math. During an 8-hour snooze, you dump nearly 2 million flakes of dead flesh directly onto your sheets. You're literally marinating in a microscopic pile of your own decay. But wait, it gets nastier. You aren't just losing skin, you're feeding the troops. Your mattress is home to millions of dust mites, tiny 8-legged relatives of spiders who think your dead skin is a 5-star meal. These invisible scavengers graze on the biological fog you leave on your pillow. If your mattress feels heavier than the day you bought it, that's not humidity. That's a decade of accumulated human dander and compacted mite excrement. You think you're sleeping alone? How precious. You're actually the host of an all-you-can-eat midnight buffet, and your face is the centerpiece. Number 5. The Unconscious Gas Chamber. During the day, you possess this wonderful thing called voluntary muscle control. You feel a bubble of trouble, you clench, and you wait. But once you hit deep sleep, that guard drops. Specifically, your anal sphincter, the last guardian of your dignity, decides to relax. Without gravity fighting the bubbles, the floodgates open. Most people pass gas far more often while sleeping because there's zero resistance. But here's the wild part. You never wake up from the smell. Why? Because your sense of smell effectively clocks out during REM sleep. Your brain decides that processing odors is a low priority. This means you can lie there cultivating a methane cloud under your duvet, totally oblivious to the biological warfare you're waging. You're safe from the stench, but anyone sharing your bed is trapped in a Dutch oven of your making. Sure, it's a biological necessity to prevent bloating, but let's be real, it's also a nightly betrayal of trust. You're a sleeping chemical weapon. Number 4. The Personal Sauna. It's called nocturnal transpiration, and it's your body's desperate attempt to keep from slow cooking your internal organs while you dream. To conserve energy, your core temperature has to drop, and it achieves this by pumping out sweat like a broken pipe. On an average night, you excrete about a cup of liquid. Doesn't sound like much? Do the math. Over a year, you're sweating nearly 95 liters, 25 gallons of salt water directly into your bedding. That's essentially a bathtub full of sweat every year, absorbed straight into the fabric of your mattress. Remember those dust mites we talked about? They don't just eat your skin, they need a drink to wash it down. Your sweat creates a damp fungal paradise deep inside your bed. So when you wake up and your pillow feels cool, remember, it's not the fresh air making it cold, it's the moisture. You're fermenting in your own juices to make sure your liver doesn't overheat. It's a vital survival mechanism, sure, but it also means your bed is basically a giant used sponge. Enjoy your nap. Enjoying it so far? Then subscribe. Continuing. Number 3, the Bio-Lubricant Spill. This is actually a built-in safety feature. When you're awake, you're constantly swallowing to manage spit production, but in deep sleep, your swallowing reflex relaxes along with the rest of your dignity. If you're a side sleeper, gravity takes the wheel and the overflow begins. Why do we make so much goo? Protection. That spit is loaded with antibodies and enzymes that go to war with the bacteria trying to colonize your gums while you're not brushing. It also keeps your throat tissues from drying out and crocking like a desert floor. Essentially, your mouth is a biological petri dish, and drool is the hand sanitizer. If you stopped making it, your teeth would rot faster than you can imagine, and your breath would smell like an ancient crypt. So that embarrassing wet spot isn't just disgusting, it's evidence that your immune system is holding the line against mouth rot. It's not dignified, but survival rarely is. Number 2. The Midnight Mucus Cocktail. Your nasal passages are lined with millions of microscopic hairs called cilia. Picture these little guys as a synchronized rowing team, beating in waves to shove mucus toward the back of your throat. This sticky sludge is essentially biological flypaper designed to trap dust, pollen, and bacteria before they can colonize your lungs. Now, here's the stomach-turning part. You swallow about a liter, 1 quart of nasal mucus every 24 hours, and a huge portion of that cocktail is consumed while you're dead to the world. Since you're lying flat, gravity helps the sludge slide down your throat, a process called postnasal drip. You don't even notice. Your body treats your stomach like a waste incinerator, dumping the infected goo into acid to melt the germs. While you're dreaming of pizza, your body is force-feeding you a liter of your own filtered waste. It's revolting, but without it, your respiratory system would be an infected mess in days. Bottoms up. Finally, let's talk about that crusty little souvenir you claw off your face every morning. Number 1, the Ocular Trash Compactor. You call it eye boogers or sleep. Science calls it rheum. I call it facial debris. During the day, you blink constantly to wash away dust, dead cells, and mucus. But once you're out, the cleaning crew goes on strike. Without blinking, your body has to shove all that junk into the corners of your eyes where your body heat evaporates the liquid and leaves the grime behind. What you're picking at is a hardened cocktail of blood cells, skin oil, and bacteria. It's literally a waste brick. If this didn't happen, that grit would float around your cornea, sandpapering your eyeballs while they move during your dreams. You're basically a self-cleaning oven, and that crust is the ash. Congratulations, you survived another night of sweating, shedding, and leaking fluids just to stay alive. It's not pretty, but it beats the alternative. Now go wash your face, you look terrible. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. It's definitely cleaner than your pillowcase. If you enjoyed learning exactly how gross you are, do me a favor and smash the like button. It costs you nothing and helps the channel more than you think.